Welcome back. So today on this show, we're talking about the legal system in Nigeria. There is nothing that is being done in any nation that is not backed up by the law. That's the foundation of everything else. The health, the finance, the armed forces, the infrastructure, the power, the electricity. Everything is backed up by a law, by an act, by a bill. So the legal system is more important than we actually know. But as an average young Nigerian, when I hear legal and I hear law, all I keep praying that, Lord, I don't want to have any issue that will take me to the court. But truthfully, it needs to be addressed. We need to talk about it. We can't keep sweeping it under the carpet, which is why we decided that it's high time we hear from those who wear the shoes, because they know where it pinches. So today on the show, again, I am your moderator, Omolade Ogulola, and today I have three amazing young Nigerians with me on the show. First, I'll turn to my left. We have Babatunde Oluwaseun Kolawole.
Thank you.
I call him an influencer. I say Seun talks for a living. The first time I met Seun, he was cracking up. He knows how to step into a place and take charge of the atmosphere. So I say he's that kind of person. But one thing I've loved about him is that he's very concerned about the situations in the country. He's not just a speaker, he's an influence speaker. He talks for a change. And he's a media strategist. He holds a bachelor degree in communications and language arts from the University of Ibadan. He's an amazing communicator and has a strong background in building relationships with people. He has been on several TV shows, and we are honored to have him on the stage.
Thank you.
Welcome, Seun.
Thank you so much.
So to the two amazing Amazons with us. I'm sure you've seen them before on the stage, right? So they are alumni of the C4C Global Entrepreneurship Fellowship Program. You've heard them talk about business, but now they're talking about situations in the country. So it's a real deal. First, again to my left, is Ngozi Roland. I'm going to leave the last name for her. I don't want to murder the name. So she knows I always do that. Please apologize, but I'll keep it Ngozi Roland.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, saving the best for last, we have Rachel Bob on the show. I'm sure you've seen her before. She is also an alumni, the latest alumni from the C4C program. But she also is a law graduate from Guinea American University from North Cyprus. But today, as I said, they're not talking about business. We're dealing with real issues that affect everybody, plus those doing the 9 to 5 and those going to a 24/7 entrepreneurial job. This affects everybody. And our children yet to come. We're building a foundation and we're building a legacy in this country, and it needs to start now. If we want good governance, if we want strong leadership, we need to start talking about issues. No more sweeping it under the carpet. And it starts today on the Roundtable Talk. So let's begin. And we are back. So we're diving right into the discussions. Believe you me, behind the scenes, a lot is already going on. And we're going to start with, what are these laws? Do we even know them? Me, aside from right to live, right to freedom, right to speech, I don't think I do anything else. Please forgive me, I don't think I know anything else. And I'm sure there are many young Nigerians that are like, this was, I don't know anything, I beg, don't involve me, I beg, I don't want to. So, but it involves all of us. Again, that is the foundation for everything. Everything that has been done right and everything that has been done wrong in this country. That's where it starts from. So we need to start knowing. So today, Rachel, I'll turn to you. Being that a little with your law background, what are these laws? What are the ones you know? Educate us a little. Okay. What's the background of the law system that you know of in Nigeria?
Okay, if you say the background of the law system, you have to go back to when the British colonized us. So because that is like a heavy influence on how our laws are created. So you have the English law, you have the common law, you have Sharia law, like there are different types of law. So in the northern part of Nigeria, what really coordinates how they fix their laws is the Sharia law. For the southern part, it's common law. But for what I would advise for every Nigerian to have, personally, I believe every Nigerian should have a copy of the Constitution because that is the highest law in Nigeria. No one is above the law. No one is above the Constitution. Even the president is subject to the Constitution. And it's what? It's like 2,000 naira a copy.
Oh, you can get it?
Yeah, you can. You can even download the e-copy. Every Nigerian should have a copy of the Constitution. Though they're talking about amendments and everything, but you should have a copy of the Constitution. Then there is the Nigerian Criminal Code, Penal Code for the northern part, Criminal Code for the southern part of Nigeria. We have the Land Use Act. And another thing, the President of Nigeria, Muhammad Buhari, has just signed the electoral bill into the act. So everyone should check that out. Go and check out the electoral act. You should know. Do you have your PVC? Please, Nigerians, get your PVC. Please get your PVC. Know the new things that are happening for elections, your party, and everything.
I'm going to come back to you. But, Ngozi, what do you think of all she just said?
It's amazing that we have these laws. And like she pointed out, a lot of us, we are not even aware. We have not taken time to educate ourselves. Because the truth about it, the layman wants to, what they're interested in is what do we do to put food on our table? So they are not even interested. Yes, a lot of people complain, oh, we have bad governance, things are not moving well. But what are you actually contributing to changing the status quo?
Yeah.
You know, so it's high time we start educating. And I'm going to take it up on that, buying the Constitution. I don't have it. I don't even know what it looks like. You know,
2,000, right?
Yeah, because you just sit on TV and somebody is quoting section D, subsection D.
Yeah, it sounds so confused. Why does it have so many sections and acts, please? Why is it always that?
One
list to another.
it explains what
the other one.
Yeah, what the other one says. It's very, to me, it's very easy to understand. So when you open the Constitution, you see the we the people of Nigeria and all of that. Then you see the different chapters that handle different segments. You have the chapter 4, fundamental human rights and all of that. So when you want to check your fundamental human rights, you don't go to chapter 4, you go there, check it. What is on the exclusive list, you go there, check it. Like, it's very easy to understand. The various courts, the various... Okay, I think I'm good. That is very interesting.
Please, where does this not too young bill, where does it fall under? Because
it's not in the Constitution.
Oh, it's not?
It's not in the Constitution. Yeah, it's not in the Constitution, but it is accessible. Thank God for the internet, you can download it, you can download the e-copy of it. So it's very, very accessible. Everything now is very accessible. It's not like in those days where you have to have like hardcovers and everything, but I do love a hardcover. The smell of old books, but it's still, I love to read. So, yeah, but it's still very accessible. You don't need to, people of Nigeria, you don't need to buy it for a very expensive rate. You can actually download the e-copies. There are online law libraries now that you can download things from.
So now that we know that we have these laws, but how come it's so difficult to put out this information? I mean, until you mentioned it, I didn't even know that it's something that should be accessible to everybody. Why is it not out there? Why is it so hard? I mean, we have the social media, we have TV stations, we have radio stations. Why should it be so hard to get the attention of that CEO and say, hey, get the law in front of you or get the Constitution? I
think the mentality is, why bore yourself with so much documents when you can just pay for the service of a lawyer?
Sure, I still feel something is missing because the freedom of information it should be out there. Like, there's a way, I'm sorry to say, if our government wants to get the information of every nook and cranny, they can do it. Why is it that priority is not being placed on informing the people of these laws?
The thing is, I believe that the knowledge that you find someone applying to anything is what they seek after. If you don't seek that knowledge, you'll not be able to exercise it. So in this regard, people may be distracted by a whole lot of things. You know, we've got the social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. they're more interested in all of that and all the jokes and all the comedy and stuff. Like the example she gave about a malam, yeah, I see them all the time. They put their radio. I knew that these guys are very informed. You ask him, who is the governor of this? They tell you. Who steps down this road? They'll tell you. Because they're listening, they're looking for knowledge. So they are also informing their children. Oh, at this time and such a time, this person was ruling, this person was doing this, this was who was there, this was what happened. If you ask a very little number of Nigerians, they don't know what is going on. So a lot of people just focus on some other things and they are just so not interested. Information is free. Information is free. It's just about getting a book and then reading through and ask questions. So if you don't ask questions, you know, there's a saying, if you don't know where you're going, everywhere looks like a bus stop.
But how do you search for something that you don't even know is important to you? Like, sorry, it's not that it's not important, but how do you search for what you don't even know it's missing?
No, you see, if you see that there's an issue or you see that there's a change you need to create, before you create a change, you need to examine why you're creating that change. You need to look for why. Okay, I want to create a change in this area. So you go for things in that area. You want to become a doctor, you have to go to medical school. You want to become a lawyer, you have to go to the law school. So it's in different areas. So you can't say because you want to become a medical doctor, then you go to law school. The correlation is not there. So you have to seek knowledge in the area you're interested. So a lot of people are interested in politics today. You don't find them, they don't even have a PVC.
True.
I don't know how you want to be involved in politics and you don't have a PVC. So at that time, what do you want to use as a reference? What can you talk about? Nothing. So we need to find you equipping yourself with the area you're interested in. If you're interested in politics, yes. You're interested in advertising, yes. And then if you're interested in law, you go for it. So you have to seek knowledge so that you can be able to exercise authority in that area.
That's true. And it's been said, actually, that in the courts, ignorance is not an excuse.
Yeah, it is.
So at this point, it's advisable to every young person, get a copy. Let's do the e-copies. I know we like that. Let's get a copy of the Constitution if we want to stop the abuse on our part, but because we're ignorant of the laws. So if they are not providing us with the information, let's go out and get it ourselves. Go on the internet, search for it. Let's start educating ourselves for ourselves towards the development of this country. When we come back, it's going to get hotter. Stay tuned. Yes, we are down to the finale of this episode. So now we've settled that yes, there are a lot of laws in Nigeria. And we've agreed that we need to educate ourselves for ourselves. We're not going to wait for anybody to put that information in front of us. We're going to search it out. And we're going to get a copy of the Constitution for ourselves and get into the know. But please, how effective are these laws? We know there are laws. But is it just for the books? How many of these laws have been implemented? Are these laws being taken to protect the citizens, or are they being misused to the extreme? There are issues and there are many instances in this country that have shown either the abuse of the law or the ineffectiveness of the law. So I turn to my guests. Who's going first? Yes.
Ladies first.
Okay, yes, we understand that we need to be educated about the laws. But the truth about it, because you asked the question earlier, which struck me, and that's why do people not seek to understand or seek to be educated, on these laws that exist? The truth about it is a lot of people have lost faith in the legal system.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's not enough for there to be a law. It's not enough to be a voice. When you are a voice, what happens? Look at what happened with the NSAS.
Yeah.
A couple of Nigerian youths came out to speak against, something evil or something
an abuse
wrong
of the
that's
law.
being done,
Yes.
Peacefully.
expecting their voices to be heard. And we saw the way it turned out. And then, okay, yes, it happened, it didn't happen. They used blank, they didn't use blank. It was bullets, it was not bullet. People died, people not die. We said, okay, let's set up a judiciary panel who investigated and came out with something. And I'm sure that they were shocked that what they came out was anti-government. because they came out to say, yes, 9 people died. People were injured with bullets. And what did the legal system do? Because they saw they had caught them in the hand, the next thing was they started looking for loopholes. Typo. You said this person is dead, but this person came to give a witness, was a witness in the court or something, you know. So when the legal system fails, the executive arm tries everything, it doesn't work. They start looking at English, comma, and full stop in documents. So when people have grown to understand that no matter what I do, this thing they will still have their way. It doesn't work. So it's not enough to say, oh, go and read. Read it for what? If I'm educated about it, the police wants to arrest me and they say bail is free. And they put me in cell and they're saying I have to pay for bail. And I'm shouting bail is free, bail is free. You will be there 10 years. Nobody will hear about you.
Sure.
Do you understand? So yes, the system is corrupt. True. Including the legal system, because in Nigeria, what is happening now? The executive, they are using the legal people to their own
to play.
Yes.
So things like this, they are not really building the faith of the young generation. But the truth is, yes, we will keep speaking until something happens.
True.
And when will that time be?
Exactly.
Because for me,
blood needs to flow.
Do you understand? You know? Because you know, while you were speaking, I like to say this: the protest was a peaceful one. It was obvious from the beginning. It wasn't violent. So it's not like, you know, you had a lot of people who gathered and wanted to destroy properties. No, they were there peacefully and they were having a nice time, expressing themselves with their placards peacefully.
Which is right under the law.
Of course, you have the right to protest. So all of a sudden it turns upside down, and then there was a live show, and then we began to see bullets all around. And at the end of the day, some set of people came and said, nothing happened. Are you joking?
And no backing from the
law. No way, no way. So things like that are very obvious to the eyes. And I'm sure parents don't want their children to die. True. You know, after a child goes to school for 4 years and then goes to protest and then dies there. Nobody's going to do that. That's why, in fact, it's so annoying that you had some people who were protesting from their phones. Twitter was taken out.
Yeah.
How limiting can it be again?
And there was no law to say, like the right that they could even take off a huge social media platform. Like, I didn't even know they had that kind of legal backing.
Of course, I knew. It was just to take it out, and then you're not able to exercise. You could not exercise your authority from home. How do you exercise it in court? So someone is in school right now, he's seeing what is going on. He may never want to participate because he knows it doesn't work. And sometimes when I see people who don't go to get their PVCs, I feel that's one of the reasons. But I'll still encourage you to get your PVCs and try to vote.
Yes, babe.
So,
and then when you vote, what happens to the result?
Don't worry, let's keep voting. One day. That day is gonna come.
You know, the last election was so interesting because a lot of people, we came out.
Yes,
of course, I was there.
Even if this one was my first time of voting, I was like, okay, no, I need to get my PVC. I got my PVC. In fact, that day we were there, even with the heat, everything, we're like, today we must vote. And then we finished voting. And
was another thing. To know how serious it was then, I got my friend's card the nights before, so I could drive to where I registered to vote. So it's not. Some people wouldn't do that.
You can't use the result from one state to say, oh, because one state voted for one, there was like a high, what's the word to use? Like
high ratio.
Yeah, for one particular candidate in a state, is it to judge the whole federation? It doesn't work that way.
No, but that's just one example. I think the bottom line is that we're not seeing the protectiveness of the legal system to all the situations. The laws are being in place, but how are these laws being implemented? Are these laws even being, they're not effective.
When the enforcers of the laws are the ones abusing the laws.
Okay.
Sorry, you're on the hot seat.
We are mixing things up here. We have 3 arms of government. You have the judiciary, the executive arm, the legislative arm. These are 3 different bodies that do 3 different things. You can't say, oh, the legal system is failing us. let me leave that.
Because I was about to ask you as a lawyer, are you saying the legal system?
But the thing is, you can't say the legal system is the one to enforce the law. We are not enforcers.
Yes.
That is the work of the executive arm of government.
Okay. Then you are what?
We adjudicate the law.
Okay.
We interpret what the law says. The legislative make the laws. We tell you, oh, this is how this law is supposed to be.
So how is the law being carried out till the end? That's the most important thing. Yeah, that the law is carried out till the end.
The executive ensures that everything that is written by the legislative, that's interpreted by the judiciary, is acted upon.
That's what I'm saying.
So who monitors the executive? Who monitors them?
There is a balance of powers there. There's separation of powers. It says that each arm of government is independent from each other.
But are they truly
independent?
That's the point. There's a third party.
That's what I'm saying.
There's a third party. So it's not effective.
Yeah.
See, I wouldn't come to you if I know that you are not a solution provider. If I've got testimonies of you not providing solution, I won't come to you. So that's why people just give up. They never want to be part of it.
Yeah, we carry our cases to court.
Why do you think? Yeah, so why do you think a system works? A system works because there are principles put in place that are being followed entirely. So if it's not followed entirely, what's the need?
I feel like I'm the bad person.
No, you're not.
The one thing I can say about the judiciary, and the judicial process is that it's slow, but it is effective. It's slow, but it's still very effective.
We believe you.
It's still very effective. I'm standing up for my people. We are effective. Yeah,
but
it's
when members of the legislative arm or the lawmakers are used as pawns, are manipulated as pawns to achieve what the executive desires or wants, it becomes an issue. Reference back to this NSAS thing, it's still these same lawyers that the government will still use to look for loopholes, because I learned that in a legal document, even comma, when you omit it, it means different thing. Is can be different, it means different things in different documents.
On the part of the lawyers, it is not my job to massage. It is not my job to make it look good for you. It is my job to defend my clients. My first priority is my clients. So it doesn't matter what I feel. It doesn't matter if what is happening doesn't look good. I'm sorry. But it is the truth. My first duty, it is to my client. So if my client is the Federal Republic of Nigeria, I will do everything possible to defend my client to the best of my ability. If my client is the NSAS victim, it is my duty to defend my client with everything I've got.
There's something I usually would say. Corruption has become a normal name. In fact, it has become like a nickname for people.
True.
But I would like to say that corruption is actually a state of the heart.
Yeah.
Once your heart is corrupt, every other thing is corrupt. So people have come to the realization that they want to dwell in corruption.
Because it makes them more money.
Yes. So when people say that the problem of Nigeria is that we have bad leaders, not that we have bad leaders. It's just that you don't have people who are compassionate. Because the people you don't have compassion on, you cannot change anything for them. So if you don't put yourself in a position of a person, you can never create change for that person.
True.
You see a lot of people who travel to so many parts of the world. You see how everything works. I'm not saying they became that one day. They started gradually. They started putting things in place gradually. And as you know, things began to grow. To build a house, the house did not just appear. You started digging first, then you laid the foundation, then you started taking it from there. So we have to start from somewhere. But once we don't take that step to start from somewhere, genuineness is the key. You don't have a lot of genuine people who want to rule. When you see the heart of people who want to rule, you know that there will be that change that we desire.
So, wow, that was amazing. So we'll come to the end of this episode. And if I have to say anything, is to say that yes, we have work to do. We have a whole lot of work to do. And truly, a house is not built in a day, but we need to get to work. We need to start. We've wasted enough time. Nigeria is not getting younger. Nigeria is getting older. So before we have newer generations that come to meet problems that should have been solved, let's start making a step towards a positive change. And let's start now. So on that note, any final words, Ngozi?
Yes, we have lost faith in the legal system. But Nigeria is our country. It belongs to me, it belongs to you. So what do? We keep pushing. We keep believing in the system. We keep hoping that someday that change we expect and we preach will come. And that day is now.
Nigeria can only be changed by Nigerians. So if you believe you're Nigerian, that change can come and it starts from you. So let's start doing something today and Nigeria will be exactly where we want it to be. Thank you.
Rachel?
Please get your PVC. Get your PVC. Get your PVC and
Exercise your vote.
yeah, exercise your vote and don't stop believing in a better Nigeria.
So yes, we are down to the end of this episode. This is a platform for young people. We are the ones wearing the shoes. We know where it pinches. We're tired of young people committing suicide in Nigeria. We're tired of people living from hand to mouth. We're tired of young Nigerians who are unfulfilled. It is time for positive change, and it starts with us. So we are taking our own steps. We're not here to lay blames. We're not here to point fingers. We just want Nigeria to be better for us and for our children unborn. So now the journey begins. Stay tuned.